Yes, the baselines from those coastal states, the coastline, are the paramount feature from where the maritime spaces are established. So, they are directly affected by sea level rise, and normally they retreat. And that would, according to international law, according to the UNCLOS, the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, the measurements would be need to be ratified since the coastline retreats landward. So the idea is to somehow find a mechanism, because when they establish the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea, the sea level rise was not a major issue, but now it is. We are seeing everywhere in the world that it's affecting coastal populations, and that also affects the location of the coastline and the location of that milestone from which we measure our maritime space. So what the international community right now is doing is to somehow find a flexible mechanism to not to change the law of the sea, but to complement the law of the sea by fixing what would be the location of the original lines, so that the coastal state can deposit some instruments stating that this is our coastline before the effect of this sea level rise, because that will impact on the draw of the maritime spaces. Because if we don't do that, we have to redraw everything again, and it will be retreat landward. The continental shelf, and we are talking here the limitation of the continental shelf beyond the 200 nautical miles, because by default, the coastal state has the right to exercise under the continental shelf up to 200 nautical miles. So underneath the water column, the EZ, what we call it, the exclusive economic zone. If we want to extend beyond 200 nautical miles, we can apply a set of rules which are established by Article 76 of the Convention. And those rules, the majority of those rules do not depend on the coastline, with the exception of one, which is a constraint line that measures 350 nautical miles from the baseline to cut off the margin and establish the outer limits of the continental shelf. Now, what I can see for the Atlantic Center, because nowadays the Atlantic Center has a huge number of states in the same basin, in the Atlantic Basin, and they can get together a strong position to apply, especially for the issue of setting and preserve the original baselines to set the limits. They can together, as a block, as a union, as a unique basin, have more strength to together influence the international law to preserve the original baselines as it was before the effects of climate change and the direct effect of sea level rise.